Uh, all right. Um, well, how was it? Did it make sense? Any comments, questions, any input? Anyone has anything to say?
I just had one quick question on do you need them to be close to their low? Some of
We,
them have moved.
I usually like to be within 10% of their lows.
Mhm.
So if that gives us bigger oomph. But as we could see, like for instance, Meta last year, they started a move in October. A lot of these stocks actually they made their lows in October. So
Yeah.
just be aware of that. But some other ones you can see that they've been basing. So I like to have it within 10% from their lows. So if they're like 100, the low was 100, I like to be floating around like 110 or so before uh, they usually make that big move. So,
And then the options, I forgot if you just buy calls, do you do 50 delta?
so we do, yes, at the money, most of the time because it is a, yes, 50 delta.
Okay.
So those are the best ones for me. I don't like to go out of money unless I'm really aggressive that I like to have different kinds. So I want to have at the money, but I'll sometimes I love them so much. I don't want to pay too much. I go out of the money. So yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Ramin.
you're very welcome, Jean-Claude. Any other comments? I know some of you, my apologies if they, we're talking about option and things, but you will get all that information in the future you'll know what we are working on. So any other comments or question?
For me, it's kind of a, well, it's new again about investing. So it's good to know that you can either buy and hold, and I guess if they start going up, is that the time to sell or just keep them?
Right. Again, depends on your portfolio. I mean, this one that I shared with you is more of a very short term strategy, just more of in and out. It's like more of a trading. But again, last year, if you would have done this and you would have held it, you would have beaten any index. The stocks that we looked at, I mean, the average portfolio probably would have been up 85% or so. That's how uh, it would have worked. And but this year we'll have a little difficult time. But I mean, I've been through this. We've had this in like 2008. It has happened. I've been doing this. So it was difficult then because 2007 was good and 2008 everything went to but I still did okay. So I just have to do a little more research. So since now you know the criteria, most people starts like in 2 days prior, on Monday, Tuesday, they decide to start looking for these. But I usually do my own, I put the trades on the last day of the year. I don't do it before. I don't buy things like today. I'll wait till Friday to pay as little as possible. Um,
So it's a tool to use to build up your portfolio or investment, I guess.
Correct. You could because you're buying bargains, right? We don't want to
Yeah.
pay too much. For instance, why people love Black Friday, Walmart, all of a sudden people go from midnight or like 5, 6 in the morning, they stand in line because the things that they wanted is like half a price. So, but we want to make sure it's quality, right? So we don't want to have companies, they go down, and we will learn about fundamental analysis. There's a good reason companies are cheap. That's why we don't like penny stocks that they're under dollar, because number one, big institutions don't want to come in and buy those because it's not worth it for them because there's just so little. And they become very volatile and speculative. You're not in the business of, if you're doing trading, we like speculation, but very short term. So for investing, we look for bargains, and this is one of the ways we can find it. I mean, imagine last year when you find Nvidia and Meta at that bargain price, you'll be up 240%. Now, some people came late, because of the AI, they're still up like 50%, but that's how it works. And remember, this cycle continues. The train keeps coming. So even if this year we didn't find it, next year, there's always this strategy. As I said, I've been using it for 16 years. So it's some years are really good, some years are not as good, but they've always been positive for me. Pretty good January. So anyone else? Any other comments? Any questions? Was it helpful? I mean, it might be some of you, it's probably very new, but does that make sense? Or did it make sense what we talked about?
I guess in time it'll make sense for me.
Yes, I mean, we are putting the pieces of puzzle together, right? Leonard, we want to get yes, but well, this is one thing that it shows you there are strategies out there that we can apply. So it's not like from scratch, it's proven strategies. Yeah. Jean-Claude, I think you had a comment.
Yeah, just a question. Some of these are Chinese companies. You okay with that? Like JD, right? JD is a Chinese company.
Right. So one of the obviously the problems we have is obviously the government. And I mentioned, I think a couple of weeks ago, for instance, about, now they're going after gaming companies, and that's what the Billy is, right? So they want the kids not to go on social media or play games. So here's China. China decides, the government says, oh, don't. We take you to jail, for instance, the owner. So that's what we find some stuff like that. But also remember 2 years ago, we had the Edu, they were after these education companies. And I think I had shared with you, we bought Edu and it's been up like 300%. So sometimes it's the timing of things. So when they wait till they really beat them up, and if the company's still around, then they're gonna that's a good time to get in. So but that's what's happening with the gaming stocks in China. But China is also, they need to stimulate their economy, so they are working on that. So it finally might be something going on this year, but still cautious. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right. Anyone else? Any last words before I let you go? Again, I hope it was helpful. This is something that we do again every year at this time. Really appreciate your participation. Okay, thank you for being part of this. I really appreciate it. Hopefully things make a lot more sense.
Things are starting to grow. Yes. So this is good.
Thank you, Ramin.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Jean-Claude.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye
Great.
now. Have
Thank
a
you. Happy
wonderful
New
new
Year.
year. Thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Joining. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Great year.
Have a wonderful
Bye,
new
Ramin.
year. See you next year.
Righty.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Lisa. Bye.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you for being here, Lisa. Really appreciate it. I don't know if Tyler was with us, but I will send you the recording if you think it's useful. So awesome. Thanks again. Bye.
Okay, yeah, listening to it a second time will be good.
Okay. We will do that.
Bye, take care.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.